Recently, this movie, The Life of Pi, which I haven't seen yet, but I saw the trailer and my son saw it. But I thought it was a very interesting, it's a good representation of what is happening in the world, because that movie, the animation was done here by a Malaysian company. And it is very interesting because our boys and girls, ICT experts, were able to make that movie for Hollywood. I assume the highest standards and the most competitive, the toughest market is the Hollywood market, and yet it was done here by Malaysians. So it just goes to show that through ICT, we are first of all connected to the cutting edge, whatever is happening in the world through ICT. You don't have to go to the other country to be there. It can come here. And the second thing is that we can perform. Through ICT, our people can compete and do things just as good as Hollywood. And The Life of Pi is a very good example. So I think that the question is, exactly how do we develop, how do we become the higher income nation through ICT? We just have to use more and more of it. I like to use examples. The other one is Amazon.com and DHL. Amazon, I think, has been voted the company the number one in the world in terms of quality of service among the Fortune 500, things like that. So they are still leading number one company in the world in terms of quality of service and quality of products delivered. And I personally buy things from Amazon. I used to buy books, but now I buy other things. You can even buy clothes from them, and it's very surprising. They can deliver products within days. The earliest I got was 3 days after placing an order for a product. It was delivered within 3 days. The fourth day it arrived here, I'm sorry. So interestingly, the supply chain for me, it's actually from the US now. But interestingly, when the product gets here, they have organized their system so well. Their logistics comes all the way into Malaysia. They use DHL, American Courier, but nevertheless, DHL is in Malaysia. And over here, their logistics are manned all by locals to the exact standards of Amazon.com. So again, they use ICT extensively. They are basically an internet-based company. And for example, when you track your parcel, there was an issue that it could not be delayed, it could not be delivered. The issue was on our side. So what happened was, the courier sends the email to the Amazon, and they send me an email within less than 10 hours to tell me that the parcel was delivered, but the one was at home, something like that. And they gave me this tracking number and things like that. And you make a phone call, and in 5 minutes it's settled. So you see, this is global. But interestingly, it is so very, very professionally done, very well done. It's a very efficient system, manned by locals, but of course following Amazon.com standards and logistics. But nevertheless, this is another instance where ICT connects us. Whether we like it or not, we are forced to operate at the rest of the world, which I think is a good thing. So to me, the only way is to embrace it more and more, not to be afraid, and let it in. That's my view. Okay, thank you. Well, there are many kinds of bloggers. There are bloggers and there are controversial bloggers, there are other bloggers. Blogging is a new phenomenon, even in Malaysia. But what blogging represents is that blogging tries to break barriers. It's all about being more transparent, all right? So if we are talking about blogging and how the blogging phenomena can help to move our country forward, to a developed nation where ICT is extensively used, I think we first have to see what are those societies. What do you mean by what do you call this, developed digital economy? There are, I guess if you go to all the Western countries, the advanced countries where ICT is used extensively, where the internet penetration is extensive and also people rely on it a lot, you get an idea of what is an advanced digital economy. So we cannot run away from being like them. Ultimately, our aim is to be an advanced country, advanced economy. So we're going to get there. That's what we're going to be. Now, this is where, the objectives are there. I think the targets are there. But where we differ is how to get there. Now, the hardware is there. Here we have the multimedia super corridor. You have all the fiber optics, links, everything. You have all the computers, the iPads, iPods. You have everything. What we don't have is, we also have the software, the IT software. What we may not have is the philosophy and the legal framework. For example, ICT, Internet, Information, Communication Technology opens up discussion. Blogs open up discussion. Basically you're telling people you're free to talk. Then you have laws that can grab people who say too many things, okay? So in this country, for example, I am not afraid of laws like the ISA. In fact, I'm a person who regrets that the ISA has been abolished. But we were never afraid of the ISA because the ISA is not meant for bloggers or people who speak in the media or the emergency ordinance and things like that. What I, as a blogger, am afraid of, and which I think holds back our development as a society, is our libel laws. You know, where people can sue each other for 50 million, 100 million. To me, this is more restrictive than the ISA and the emergency ordinance and anything else. Because on the one hand, through technology, ICT technology, through the internet, through the multimedia super corridor, we open the space for discussion. But you say anything a little bit out of line, you can be sued. Yeah? So this is where our laws are still a little bit behind, not keeping up with the changing technology. So I believe that if you want to have a more transparent society, a transparent country, a more responsive country which answers for what it does, which gives good answers for all the secretive things that it does, we have to protect the people who may want to talk about this. So I believe that we have to amend the laws. I especially believe that we have to amend the libel laws, where it doesn't give so much protection to the high and mighty who have many things to hide.